Hello, everyone. Hello, women leaders, and especially those of you who love meditation and who use meditation as another practice to grow your business. I am so excited to introduce you to Emily Fletcher. Emily is my new dear friend and colleague and one of my greatest mentors in the realm of meditation and the benefits of meditation. And even if you don't meditate, but you know about the benefits, I'm so excited for this interview because for those of you that don't know Emily has taught over 40,000 people to meditate. She's best-selling author of the book Stress Less, Accomplish More, which has been translated into 14 languages. Emily is the CEO of Ziva Meditation. She's spoken at Harvard and Google, and she teaches high performers like us, that's us, to meditate. And she's got events coming up. She's aligned herself with incredible mentors like Dr. Mark Hyman and Dr. Shafali. And she's now helping launch, not just helping launch, she's launching I think what's going to be the world's most successful meditation program for kids and families. It's time for our children to be meditating. So Emily, why did you create this? Tell us why.
Okay, so this has been for years. I've been teaching now for over 10 years and has been the number one most requested product. Please, 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 can you please help my kids? I want to teach my kids. Can you teach me how to teach my kids? And I was like, no, it's not me. I'm not the person to teach kids. It's not my area of expertise. Childhood education is a whole nother deal. And I just kept deferring it. But then I had a son, I became a mom, and I was like, oh, like I just get that seeing your child in pain, seeing your child suffer, seeing your child anxious, stressed, sad, it is heartbreaking in a way that I didn't really fully understand before. And still I was like, okay, well, I'll just partner with someone, right? It's not my ball of wax. So I'll just find a great kids meditation teacher out there. And I couldn't find a program that I thought was good enough to give to my son and that had like the power of the technique and the entertainment value that would make them want to do it. And so I was like, okay, I guess it's me. And so I've been working on this for 2 years. I've been working with folks from Harvard, folks from Sesame Street, puppet builders, puppet writers. Just truly like a dream team of the world's best childhood education experts, child psychologists, puppeteers, writers. And we have created what I think that you're not exaggerating. I really wanted to be the world's best meditation training to help kids thrive. So just like I teach adults that we meditate to get good at life, same thing with kids. Nobody wants to meditate for the sake of meditating, but everybody wants to be better at soccer or better at school or better socializing with their friends or better at TikTok videos or whatever it is that you're into. And the less stress you have, the easier it is to do what you love well.
100%. And who doesn't want access to meditation meets Sesame Street? I mean, come on. We grew up with Sesame Street. It's why we all are who we are. I mean,
Totally.
and just thank you for creating this and thank you for not giving up and thank you for not letting your resistance get in the way because notice women out there, notice Emily's already built a 7-figure meditation training program. She's not stopping at that. She's not in her resistance of, oh, I just am better with adults. I don't belong as the one to lead the kids. It's like, no, who are the partnerships? What are the resources I need to call in so I can do this? And I'm curious, like, what do you see being the long-term impact of this project?
Oh, well, my dream long-term impact is that the whole new generation of kids not only learn the skill of meditation, right? So that's the baseline, that they have these meditation tools to take with them for life. That's the low-hanging fruit here. To me, the real impact that I want to have is that a whole generation of children learn that feelings are for feeling. I know that seems sort of ridiculously simple, but we've all been trained since infancy, like, shh, don't cry, have a bottle. Shh, don't cry, have a toy. Shh, don't be angry, have a video, have some Facebook, have some ice cream, have some pot, have some alcohol, have something not for kids. But as we grow up, we keep numbing and suppressing our emotions because usually our parents were not equipped to handle the bigness of our feelings when we were children. right? And just like I was saying earlier, it hurts to see your kid in pain. It hurts to see your kid disappointed. And so we as adults, sometimes instead of making our own container bigger and making ourselves more emotionally resilient, we try and squash our children's emotions. And that is very hard to unlearn once you have learned it. It's why all of us are spending so much money on therapy and meditation retreats. And so it's like, can we just install these tools in children earlier so that they realize, okay, right now I'm having some big sad feelings, and there is bliss and fulfillment inside of me at the same time. Yes, right now I'm having some big angry feelings, and there's nothing wrong with me. Right now I'm really disappointed that that didn't turn out the way I wanted, and I'm perfect exactly as I am. That those two things do not have to be in conflict. And so the way that we've baked this into the training, so there's the course is for ages 4 to 14. And so there's actually two different courses. One is 4 to 8-year-olds and one is 9 to 14-year-olds. And in the little kids one, I have a co-star. His name is Z Bunny. He's a puppet. He's awesome.
I want to
And
meet Z Bunny.
he's so
Yes.
funny. You're going to love him.
Oh my God.
And Z Bunny is training to be a superhero, right? And so every day he has a challenge, like we all do. We're launching a business, there's challenges. Sage is like your sage, right? She's your Yoda, right? She's the person you go to, the mentor. And so I'm giving Z Bunny some tools along the way to help him unlock the superpowers that he already has inside of him. Unlock things like bravery, the bravery it takes to start a business, things like kindness, the kindness it takes to collaborate, things like creativity, which we all have inside of us. So he's learning how to unlock these superpowers, and he's training to be a full-blown superhero. And so the kids are training along with him. And so each day, as he's facing the challenges, he has these big emotions, and these are represented as the stormies, right? And the thing I love about them being stormies is that you see that just like in nature, right? You have a storm and it rains, and then on the other side, it's so fresh and clean and crisp. And that water served a purpose. It waters the flowers, it clears the sky. And the same is true of our emotions. When we cry, we don't break down. We don't lose it. You don't lose anything when you cry except for toxins out of your eyeballs. And then right after that is bliss chemistry. Right. And so if we can train that in our children to not be afraid of their emotions, but to feel them, like what a gift.
It is such a gift. And I tell entrepreneurs all the time and women leaders, the way to success is to actually access all the keys on your keyboard, not just the happy keys, not just the I have all my shit together keys, the keys of like, I'm human and sometimes I need to cry and sometimes I need to be delightful and sometimes I need to be angry. And when we can actually access all those keys, not just for ourselves, but to even bring those through appropriately as we lead, it sets us apart from other leaders. You know, most leaders are operating at this little octave of expression, you know, these few keys kind of in the mid range. And I think when you really look out there at some of the most compelling leaders and performers, and even when you look at the skills of parenting and mentorship, right, it's like being able to access all of those and meet people there. And so I just want to underline everything that you're saying, an exclamation point, and to really talk to the parents who are busy and have their own dreams, and to really invite you all to bring your kids along with you. And, you know, what would you say to the busy mom who's like, I'm so busy manifesting my own dreams. How am I going to find time to do this with my kid? And
So great question. And so here's the beautiful thing about this is that everyone thinks they're too busy to meditate. We all think that we're the busiest person in the land. Really, truly, like I'm a meditation teacher, y'all, and I think I'm the busiest person in the land. And so one, we got to stop our addiction to busy. We can do an interview on that later. But the beautiful thing here is that a lot of us will do for our children what we won't do for ourselves. Right. Like right now, I'm reading a whole book on potty training. I'm like, I don't really read that much. I like to listen to books, except for Untamed. Speaking of like leaders being vulnerable, like God bless Glennon Doyle and all of her raw honesty. P.S. That quote, feelings are for feeling, is Glennon Doyle's. So anyway, I'm reading this whole book on potty training for my son, which I wouldn't necessarily do. I haven't read a whole book on a skill in a really long time. So oftentimes we're willing to do something for our children that we won't do for ourselves. And so if Ziva Kids is the way in for you yourself to have a meditation practice, which PS is going to make you more money and help you have better sex and grow your business, then great. right? And then it becomes this whole like familial experience, this thing you can do together. You can hold each other accountable, not by being the meditation police, but as having a shared activity that's not screens, that's not food, that's not spending money on something else, right? It's like an activity you can do that's going to increase your intimacy and your heart connection and all of your dreams. So that's one thing. The other thing is that think about all of the time and money and energy that you waste solving, and I'm going to use air quotes, solving all of the problems that are caused by stress, right? Like once kids get to be 12, 13, 14, they're dealing with loneliness. They're dealing with isolation. They're dealing with, I don't know if I'm going back to school or not. Like our kids are holding an extraordinarily large burden, largely for us, right? Like they're not the ones that are being impacted by this virus, like adults are. And kids have sacrificed a lot for our safety. And we have to take responsibility for the long emotional and psychological tail of this, because it's not just a viral pandemic. There's also a mental health pandemic. And so, and not to freak anyone out or scare anybody, but it is a responsibility that we have to take seriously. And so I think that even for those people who've convinced themselves that they're too busy to meditate, which is a lie, that just means you haven't found the right type of meditation yet. It means you haven't found one that's giving you a return on your time investment.
Right.
But maybe if you do it with your kids, you'll start to see like, oh, this thing really works. Oh, she's happier. Oh, she's making better decisions. Oh, she's better in school. If it's working for her, maybe it'll also work for me.
You guys, I do not know where I'd be without meditation. And I don't know where I'd be without Emily's meditation. I signed up for her, 15-day course or whatever a while back. And I've been doing it every morning, Emily, by the way. And it's like the restoration I get. I mean, you guys know the deal. When we're women leaders, when we're on the front lines, it's easy to have a night of sleep where we don't quite get the sleep we need, maybe 2 nights in a row, maybe 3 nights in a row. Maybe our, God forbid, launch goes south and we have technical difficulties. I wouldn't know anything about that. And it's like, this stuff is going to happen. And how are you going to get the restoration? I mean, for me, 10, 15 minutes of meditation can literally be like half a night's sleep. And it's like, I can feel it in my body. It's like whoosh. It's like I empty myself out and then I know exactly what I need to do. And I'm not spinning out and I'm not overwhelmed anymore. I actually get those insights when my brain calms down of like, oh, I just need to do this, this, and this. And imagine if our kids had that superpower from an early age. And I just want to say again, Emily, thank you for creating this. Thank you for being the receptive channel that you are to listen to the universe and to actually say, you know what, that is mine to do. If that keeps popping up in my head multiple times, it is mine to do. And I know as we're wrapping up here, you actually are inviting people to jump into the course. And I'm just curious if you want to talk people through the actual details of the course, and then we'll put the link to go check out the course right in with this video.
Yes. So once you enroll in the course, you can choose which course is most appropriate for your kids. So I said I gave guidelines of 4 to 8 or 9 to 14, but if you have a 9-year-old who's super into puppets and creativity and imagination, then great. They might enjoy the play course, which is the younger kids. Or if you have an 8-year-old that's 8 years old going on 24, maybe they enjoy more science and more communal learning, then they might enjoy the Grow course, which is for 9 to 14-year-olds. So you get to choose which course is most appropriate for your child. In addition to the 7-day core training, there's also an adult training, because I think that just like your kids are training to be superheroes, we have to train ourselves on how to be really good sidekicks. And that includes not being the meditation police, so I want to just absolve any like preemptive guilt or burden of being like, oh, great, another thing I have to get my kid to do. No, the best thing to do is to clean your own house, inspire them to meditate, invite them to meditate. Don't make it like a should. So I just want to assuage that guilt right off the bat. But know that there is adult training inside of the course. And the cool thing here is that once you move through the training, once your kid moves through these 7 days, it's a matriculation. Okay, so each day builds upon the previous day. Your kid will have mindfulness, meditation, and manifesting to take with them for life. Okay, it's designed to make them self-sufficient. And I made it as entertaining as possible. I used my 10 years of Broadway. I used to be on Broadway, all my singing and dancing, and Z Bunny is hilarious, so that the kids would want to come back to it like their favorite Netflix show when they want like a refresher. But the idea is that, yes, we use technology to get the skills into them, but then after they learn it, no more screen time. It's not tech dependent. And we have a really beautiful like onboarding reward system, meaning that they get like, there's a sticker chart. And once they get 3 stickers, they can do a 1-song dance party with mom, or choose what they get to have for dinner that night, or go for a walk in the woods. So anyway, it's a really holistic program that really can change the consciousness of not only your kids, but your whole family.
It's gamified. That's exactly what we teach here at Women Rocking Business. You're creating an experience for yourself and your child. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I just encourage all of you to not only go jump in to Emily's meditation course for your kids that you get to benefit from alongside them, but also just like Emily, you're such an incredible presenter. I mean, can you guys feel all the different ways, all the different places that Emily goes in her presentation? She pulls from science, she pulls from research, she pulls from inspirational stories. She pulls from her own experience and the investment that you're going to make in this meditation course. I mean, just think for a minute about like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, like where your child would be, where your child is going to be with the added skill of meditation. And I think as parents, it's just not our job to try to teach that stuff on our own, right? It's like plug into the science of actually what's working. I mean, Emily, this is no joke. She's teamed up with Sesame Street producers and some of the leading edge experts on the planet in understanding like what really is going to help your kid understand the value of this. And it's about their superpowers, so go grab the course. And Emily, what's one last story or illustration you want to leave us with?
Well, I guess we've just launched the course in beta. So like we picked like 500 people to, be our test group. And we have, now like hundreds of responses coming in of parents and children sharing like how this is impacting them. And yesterday on our team call, my head of marketing was like, y'all just have to get ready because I'm just going to be in tears for the next 2 months, because every time I read these, I start crying. And then we went through and read the testimonials. And like, I honestly can't even pick one right now because I'm like tearing up right now, that every single one I read makes my heart just explode open out of my chest. It makes me cry. To hear these kids who were battling with insomnia or anxiety suddenly like trust themselves and suddenly feel like themselves again, and suddenly be able to dream again instead of just worrying about what's going to go wrong. Like it is so heartwarming. And I'm just imagining, just in my meditation right now, I got a little like hippy dippy and I was like, what do I want the impact of Ziva Kids to be? Because it's so easy to get into like, well, the login isn't working and what's our numbers and our conversion rate. It's so easy to get bogged down in the details, and those matter, but not as much as holding the vision of what you want this to look like on the planet. And I was just like, when I hear my son laugh, it is like the best drugs I've ever taken. And I've taken kind of a lot of drugs. So like, it is like a pure ecstasy mixed with angels singing, mixed with like heaven. And that's just his birthright. He was born that way. We were all born that way. And to give kids the ability to hold on to their happiness, right? To bring that bliss with them throughout their lives. Like it sounds like a Miss America speech and I don't care. Like that is what I want the ripple effect of this course to be.
Mic drop. Thank you for speaking the truth, standing in the truth, listening, and creating something that I know is going to change the lives of millions of people. Thank you for being the solution that the world is asking for. Thank you for bringing such a potent gift of meditation to the planet and making it packaged and palatable and playful and fun for our kids. I mean, these are the young people who are going to go and rectify a lot of the problems that we're leaving them with on this planet. So
Thank you in advance, generation of children. We love you. Thank you for cleaning up our mess.
Thank you, Emily, for buoying them up, for boosting them. Go grab the course. I hardly ever let people make an offer for an actual course. It's like, do you have a free gift? Do you have an ebook? No. I just was like, Emily, what do you have where people can just go get the goods? You just got to go by the course. You really do. And I can't wait for you to have it. And I can't wait to hear how you're loving it with your kids. And thank you for being a parent that cares enough on the planet. And thank you, Emily.
Love you.
Go rock it. Bye, everyone. And if you got value from this episode, I invite you to hit the subscribe button so that we can get you weekly business trainings in your inbox to help you grow your impact and your income the women's way. Head over into the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood Facebook group and introduce yourself there, because women go so much further when we go together. Just click the button to subscribe and we will see you on the other side.